This is the Momentum Podcast.
My whole career, I've devoted to being a successful entrepreneur myself. And early in my career, I started working with other successful entrepreneurs. And I've had this obsession around growing a business. I think an experience I had when I was a kid, very young. My father was an entrepreneur. He owned a large factory in California. He lost his business. It didn't grow. The business went away. It caused huge issues on our family. And I remembered all those things. And so I've had this lifetime obsession with how do you make business grow? And that quickly turned into an obsession with how do you make business grow and how do you help people grow? And as a result of this drive to be able to grow businesses, to own those businesses myself, to help others, I've obsessively read about business. And I don't know if you've ever gotten to the place where I have, but I've read enough business books that, especially when I was younger, that business books started to conflict with each other, argue with each other, just like personal development books do. And so what I started doing was reading about the lives of successful entrepreneurs, the lives of successful human beings, people who did extraordinary things. Like, what were those people about? And one of the things that I pride myself on and that I've had other people tell me I'm really good at is recognizing patterns in the world, patterns in people, patterns in human behavior. And there's this pattern that I started to see emerging in the lives of successful people. And the more I read about it, I started writing about it, I started meditating about it, journaling, and what emerged was what we in our company, in our business, on our team, with our members call the contribution equation.
I'm Alex Sharfin, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future. And instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be.
The contribution equation is like the meta equation for us as entrepreneurs. It's the highest level equation of what we really go through in our lives to create success. In fact, when I look at this 4-step equation, it's when I read about successful people, it's what they did in order to become successful, to make the impact that they did, to put their dent in the universe. And so it's 4 steps. I'm going to go through them quickly and then I'm going to explain them. The first step is you lower pressure and noise. The second step is you increase protection and support. The third step is your strengths and abilities show. And the fourth one is you can go make your greatest contribution. Let's go through these in detail. Now, I want you to think about this for yourself as an entrepreneur. So step 1, lowering pressure and noise. Here's what I mean by that as an entrepreneur. Lowering the pressure and noise in our lives. As entrepreneurs, let's just get real. We experience more pressure and noise than most people. We're self-directed. We make decisions. We're running businesses. Often we have team members. We have things that we're doing that are more stressful objectively than maybe someone has when they're not an entrepreneur, than maybe someone has when they don't have the responsibilities we do. And so I feel like we are that small percentage of the population that exposes ourselves to massive pressure and noise to get to where we want to go. And so there is pressure and noise we are going to have to experience. Everywhere else, we should do everything we can to lower it. And what I mean by that is understand what's causing you frustration and anxiety and irritation and agitation and get it out of your life. Lower the pressure and noise in your life as much as you can. Identify what is causing you challenges and issues and move it aside. And that means in running a business, understanding what you're best at, understanding what you're good at, delegating everything else. We delegate as entrepreneurs to one of 4 things: people, process, policy, or a project. We identify those things, we delegate, we hand them over, and then that way we can be freed up to do what we really want to do. And so first, we lower the pressure and noise. Second, we increase protection and support. Now, here's what's interesting. There's a dichotomy in the contribution equation. I'm starting to sweat. It's like 90 degrees out here. There's a dichotomy in the contribution equation in that if you increase protection if you lower pressure and noise, you will increase protection and support. Now, here's the challenge. The more pressure and noise you are under, the less protection and support you will identify you need, and the less you will feel vulnerable enough to ask for. And so step one, lowering the pressure and noise in our lives, actually makes it easier for us to ask for protection and support. And I want to be very clear with you. I know how hard this is for an entrepreneur. I call it the entrepreneur's dilemma. People like you and I, we need far more help than the average person to reach our full destination because we're trying to do more. We're trying to put more out there. We're trying to change the world. Yet any request for protection and support, any request we make for help, let's be honest, it leaves us feeling vulnerable and exposed. But if we lower the pressure and noise in our lives, if we take care of ourselves, if we get the things we shouldn't be doing off our plate, and we start asking for help in small increments, and we lower the noise and increase protection and support, everything in our lives will get easier. You know, for a lot of entrepreneurs today, when you watch them on social media, when you see the behaviors in public, it looks like a lot of entrepreneurs are trying to increase the noise and lower the support as much as they can. And I want you to think about shifting that to the opposite. How can you make things easier in your life? How can you eliminate what's frustrating, agitating, the people, the places, and things in your life that are not giving you momentum? It's binary. They're taking it away. And so if something's not giving you momentum, move it aside so that you can get something in your life that is increased protection and support. And here's what happens. As entrepreneurs, when we lower the noise and we get more help, the pressure comes off of us. And you know what happens? We automatically appear more talented. We actually are more talented. We have more energy and effort and time available to create the outcomes we want. We can do better in the world. We can put more out there. We can make more happen. We can change the world. And now there's a fourth step to the contribution equation. See, if we lower the pressure and noise in our lives, see that person walking their dog right there? It's a total video bomb. If we lower the pressure and noise in our lives and we increase the protection and support through a team, through the people around us, through being vulnerable, through being real and transparent, and through managing in a way that creates momentum, our strengths and abilities will show. We will get better at everything we do without even really trying. You know, one of the challenges is most entrepreneurs out there today have massive noise, not a lot of protection and support, and they're trying to improve themselves, do self-improvement. I'll give you the best equation for self-improvement: lower the noise, increase the support you have in your life, and you will improve. Doesn't that resonate and feel real? And if you do those things, you lower pressure and noise, increase protection and support, and your strengths and abilities show, you will go out and be able to make your greatest contribution. And I want you to know something about the greatest contribution. When I say that, I have a different lens on the world. See, when I look at entrepreneurs, the way I feel is every single one of us is here trying to make a massive contribution, trying to make a difference. Yes, making an income and growing a business and helping people is a huge part of it. But we are trying to make a difference. I think that when you look at any entrepreneur in the world, they're trying to make a difference. They're trying to make things happen. They're trying to help the people around them. They're trying to improve things for themselves. They're trying to make a massive contribution. And I don't want this to get misinterpreted. Sometimes when I share that you should go make go make your greatest contribution, people think like charity. They think we're not running a business anymore. No, see, here's the way I look at it. As entrepreneurs, the businesses that we run are our contribution to the world. And so let's just shortcut it and say, let's make the greatest contribution by building a huge, massive empire that gives people in our business an opportunity, that gives the people we're working with an opportunity, that goes out and changes the world and makes things better and makes an impact and moves things forward. That is what I mean by making your greatest contribution. I don't mean going out and running a charity. I mean going out and changing the world like entrepreneurs have throughout history and make it a better place. And man, if there's ever been a time where we need entrepreneurs to make a contribution, it's right now. The world needs us now more than it ever has. Here's what will happen in this situation we find ourselves, this world crisis, this conflict. Man, there's so much conflict right now. Here's what will happen. And I say this with certainty because if you study history, you know this is exactly what's happened throughout history. Someone will rise above the noise. One of us, an entrepreneur, will rise above the noise, identify an opportunity, figure out how to solve things that are going right now, get into momentum, and take the world with us. That could be you. And so I want you to know, there's an entrepreneur, when we lower pressure and noise, increase protection and support, our strengths and abilities will show, and we can go make our greatest contribution. And that is what I think we're here on this planet to do.
Hey there, this is Eddie Kirk with Alex Sharfin's team. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Momentum Podcast. Listen, if you're ready to take the next step If you're ready to understand the systems and processes and frameworks that we teach entrepreneurs to grow and scale their business with confidence, we're ready to help you. If you go to billionairecode.com right now, you can get on a call with a member of our coaching team and find out which one of our coaching programs best fit the needs of your business right now. We know that when you are clear on where you're going and you're excited about the outcome, you will put the accelerator pedal to the floor and you won't let up. Let us help you get into momentum, grow and scale your business, and make the impact that you've always known you should. Go to billionairecode.com right now to get started. We'll see you there.